Thank you for joining us today at Miniature Wargaming Labs, where today we're going to build the Sergeant for the Eradicator squad out of the new Indomnitus box set. So you can see a lot of his parts are right over here on the squad, so let's get cutting. So first thing we're going to do is get our clippers nice and sharp and cut flat part of the clipper to the model. Get nice clean cuts. And while I'm at it, I'll grab his backpack. So let's start cleaning up the model sections. We'll take our X-Acto blade and we'll shave down the little spare nubbins that tied it into the sprue to get a smoother feel. Now that might be fine to go right there, but I like it a little bit smoother, so I'll take my metal file down those nubbins, and also you can see a very slight mold line that wraps around it. That might show up in the paint job, so I'm just going to take that down. And I want to clear up some of those shavings that get left behind when I file. So make it nice and smooth when I prime and when I paint. Alright, let's start putting this guy together. We'll start with the two halves here. This isn't much of a frame to work with. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, this is push fit and you're not supposed to have to glue it, but I like to glue them just for a little extra sense of security on the model. So I'll just run some bead of glue down this seam line. That'll actually fuse it together with the plastic glue. I'm going to put a little back here. Don't actually put pegs on the push pins. These holes and pegs are actually machined with a very high tolerance, so there's not a lot of slop, so any glue in there might prevent it from pushing together. Now let's find his chest. So I'll start with the head here. Very light cleanup. A little more work on the torso. I want this shoulder pauldron smooth for when I paint it and then put a transfer over it. So for the transfer to stick, this has got to be smoothed down. So I'll sight the head into the frame at the angle I want. And then you can see this pin will go all the way through the torso. His head started turning. Okay. Use my thumb to pinch his head in place. Start sliding the torso on. So before I clip this into place, I'm actually going to run a bead of glue so it seeps down into the joint right around there. I'm going to push it down tight. Any excess glue that squeezes out, just a quick wipe. And then I'm going to put a little down this side of the joint and squeeze. So while that sets up, let's look at the base. I'll start with the decoration. And it's just a little rock form. And let's attach him to the base so I have a platform to work with when I set him down. Alright. Now let's get his weapon system. So put a little bit of glue, not on the peg, but on the flat surface around it. His arm will tie in there. Alright, let's do a dry fit. That's good. Put glue there, some there. And I'll hold it in place for a second. Alright, so that's going to be my Eradicator Squad Sergeant. Left the helmet on. Well sculpted model. So thank you for joining us today at Miniature Wargaming Labs, and we'll see you next time.